The United Kingdom has recently taken the extraordinary step of proscribing Palestine Action, a direct action network known for targeting arms suppliers and military facilities in protest of British arms exports to Israel. This decision, enacted under the Terrorism Act, makes membership, support, fundraising, and public display of insignia illegal, effectively criminalizing a range of activities that were previously considered forms of civil disobedience. The government has justified the move by pointing to a series of increasingly bold actions by activists, which included occupations of arms factories, property damage, and a high-profile incident at RAF Bryce Norton where paint was sprayed on aircraft to draw attention to the connections between British military infrastructure and conflicts abroad. Authorities argue that such activities go beyond peaceful protest and pose risks to public safety and national security. While the government maintains that the proscription is a proportionate response, critics contend that criminalizing a protest organization under counterterrorism laws represents a troubling expansion of state power. Legal experts have emphasized that existing criminal statutes could address acts of vandalism or trespass without labeling the entire organization as a terrorist group. Amnesty International and other human rights bodies have warned that the move could set a dangerous precedent, chilling lawful political dissent and restricting the exercise of basic freedoms such as assembly and expression. They argue that it could discourage citizens from participating in legitimate activism for fear of severe legal consequences. The immediate impact of the proscription has been significant. Across the UK, demonstrations have erupted in support of the group, and police responses have been robust. Hundreds of individuals have been arrested at protests in London and other cities, including elderly participants and those engaging in relatively minor acts, such as holding banners or wearing clothing with supportive slogans. These mass detentions have fueled public debate over proportionality and the appropriate limits of policing political protest. Organizers of the demonstrations have responded by encouraging participants to adopt tactics designed to protect their identities and challenge authorities within the bounds of the law, drawing inspiration from climate and civil rights movements. From a legal standpoint, the Crown Prosecution Service has begun charging organizers and supporters under the new legislation. Several individuals have faced criminal charges for arranging meetings or coordinating activities in support of the proscribed organization. These cases are likely to test the boundaries of the law and provoke further judicial scrutiny. Defense lawyers and constitutional scholars note that the proscription introduces severe criminal penalties, including lengthy custodial sentences, into what was previously a realm of political activism and civil disobedience. Courts will now be tasked with balancing national security concerns against the entrenched rights to freedom of expression and assembly, making the outcome of these cases pivotal for the future of protest in the UK. Beyond the courtroom, the political and social consequences of the proscription are far-reaching. Advocates argue that the government's decision is intended not only to punish specific unlawful acts but to deter broader solidarity with Palestine. Many activists have deliberately adopted non-violent mass civil disobedience tactics to test the government's capacity to enforce the proscription and to spark public debate about the limits of protest. Critics caution that the designation may have unintended effects, potentially pushing activists underground or escalating tactics in ways that increase tension between citizens and the state. Meanwhile, proponents assert that coordinated action that threatens critical infrastructure or national security cannot be tolerated, even under the guise of political protest. The debate over Palestine Action's proscription is emblematic of a broader struggle between civil liberties and national security. It raises critical questions about the reach of anti-terrorism laws, the definition of terrorism, and the extent to which governments can criminalize political activism. International observers, including legal experts and human rights organizations, are closely monitoring developments in the UK, recognizing that the legal and political precedents set here could influence other liberal democracies grappling with similar issues. The unfolding situation underscores the tension between maintaining public safety and respecting fundamental democratic freedoms, and it highlights the challenges governments face when distinguishing between acts of protest and acts of terrorism. For journalists, content creators, and anyone preparing coverage, the story requires careful framing. Accurate reporting should focus on verifiable facts, the specific legal orders, the actions that prompted government intervention, the number of arrests, and the nature of the charges filed. Commentary should remain neutral, ensuring that coverage does not inadvertently support or promote the proscribed group. By providing context on both the activists' motives and the government's security rationale, creators can deliver informative content that respects legal and ethical boundaries while keeping audiences engaged. As events continue to unfold, viewers and readers can expect additional court challenges, further mass demonstrations, and ongoing public debate about the appropriate use of counterterrorism legislation. These developments will test not only the government's approach but also the resilience of civil society and the capacity of legal institutions to balance security with freedom. Ultimately, the situation surrounding Palestine Action will likely shape the boundaries of lawful protest in the United Kingdom for years to come, influencing discussions on civil liberties, government authority, and the role of activism in democratic societies.